Welcome to A Leader's Journey, the podcast for leaders who deeply believe there is a better way to lead and desire to create their unique journey towards becoming a legacy leader. I'm your host, Shannon Hammond. Over the last 20 years as a corporate leader and leadership performance coach, I've learned that many leaders believe there is a predefined path they have to follow and struggle leaning into their unique gifts that will create lasting impact and fulfillment. They end up feeling stuck, unhappy, and unfulfilled in the day-to-day of their role, and are challenged with why, since they have experienced success in their career and in life. I'm here to help leaders think through their leadership journey, learn how to ask themselves better questions, and learn the formula to create their leadership journey by design. If you are ready to design your unique leadership journey, lead with confidence, and love the teams you lead, then you are in the right place. Let's do this. Hello, my friends and fellow leaders. Welcome to A Leader's Journey. I'm your host, Shannon Hammond, and I'm glad to have you back here with me this week on the podcast. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. I'm so happy that you are here. I want to give you a big high five for taking the time to invest in your development as a leader, and I'm grateful that you've chosen to spend some of that time here with me today. This past week, I had the opportunity to be part of a client panel for the masterclass that my coach is hosting as she is opening the doors to the Ignite Coach School, and she is welcoming in new students into that program. It was an incredible and a powerful experience to be around so many positive, uplifting, and outstanding coaches who are truly making a positive difference in the lives of others. I was honored to be able to share my experience in the coach school and the transformation I have had since I started studying my own human design and how that has completely revolutionized my leadership. I am convicted and fired up now more than ever to bring human design out to leaders. If you are a leader, I'm telling you right now, you need this. It is not optional. You are not leading at your fullest potential without knowing and studying your human design, and you are doing a disservice to those that you serve and support by not understanding the way that you are meant to lead and not understanding the way that each of your team members is meant to work. Human design can tell you all of those things, and you can show up as a better, more supportive, and effective leader when you know what your truest potential looks like, when you know what the truest potential of your team looks like, when you know how you are meant to work, how they are meant to work, and how you guys can work together. It's time right now to do leadership differently. There are no other options. Leadership has to change, and it has to change immediately. I have felt this for a long time, especially seeing the evolution of leaders. Organizations are not setting them up for success. Leaders are being run through these cookie cutter, one size fits all, this is how you have to lead programs. And then executives are sitting back wondering why their leaders aren't successful, why leaders are unhappy, why their teams are unhappy, why teams and organizations aren't seeing the results that they had hoped to expect. There are also many leaders who are not the right fit for a leadership role. Their performance is poor. They're disengaged. They're not showing up every day in the way that they need to support their teams. And it's being tolerated in the workplace and it's not getting addressed. And this just continues to lead to disengagement in the workforce, is why people are leaving their jobs. We've all heard the saying that people leave leaders, not organizations. While that has always been true, it has never been more true than it is right now. It's why people are unhappy. It's why we hear about concepts like quietly quitting and why that is showing up more prominently in the workforce. It's all in the leadership of the organization. You've heard me talk in a few episodes back about everything rising and falling on leadership, and this is so true. And the biggest gap that leaders can close is in their own development and truly understanding how they are meant to lead, how they are meant to work, what their fullest potential looks like, and understanding all of those same aspects for the people that they're leading. I do believe it is time to do leadership differently. It's how we coach, and we need to show up more for our teams. We need to do more to invest in our development. We need to be showing up for our team members, and we need to shift how we are developing others. And that all starts with bringing in the aspects of human design. Now, if you were here listening to this podcast, you're not here for passive surface level success. You want to be on the cutting edge of development and being that high level legacy leader. You want to lead differently. And today I'm going to share with you a little bit about what I shared on on my coach panel. And I'm going to share with you about why I am, again, convicted and fired up more than ever that leaders need to be studying their own human design. So let me take you back to the coach panel. I, again, had the honor and privilege to be on a panel with 3 other students that are part of the coach school, like I am, who are tremendous coaches, who are just incredible and inspiring leaders. And our coach was asking us some questions about our experience so we can share it with others so they can kind of see what's it like really in the coach school. And one of the things that she had asked me was, what has been my biggest transformation since I started studying my human design? And part 2 to that question was, why am I bringing this into my business and wanted to be part of the coach school so I can do so? The biggest transformation or the biggest breakthrough that I have experienced in studying my human design is I see myself as the legacy leader that I already am. I've been chasing and trying to develop myself to somebody that I already was. I didn't need to do more work to build that person. I didn't need to be in continuing to invest in growing to that level. I was already there, and it's all over my human design to see my fullest potential. Now, that's not to say that I don't need to continue to invest in my growth and development, because I do. If you don't, you will get complacent, and then you're no longer going to be leading and showing up at your fullest potential. So it's not a pass for growth. It's a level of confidence to be able to see the person that you already are. Studying my human design, it has skyrocketed my confidence. I've always been a confident person, yet when I started digging deep into my design and I started looking at the words that were used to describe the person that I am, wow, like, I'm telling you, as a confident person, that was the motivation, the inspiration, the exactly what it is that I needed to hear to take that confidence to to another level. I can tell you that in how I show up, whether it's here in the podcast, in different meetings, with my family, I have a belief in myself that I've never had before. And it's all because I was able to do the self-study and really dig into, who am I really? Over the last 20 years of being in a leadership role, I've done, I don't even know how many assessments, different personality assessments, things like DISC and Strength Finders, and I did the Working Genius. And I'm not telling you that those aren't great assessments. They are, and I do believe that they serve a purpose for individuals. Here's what I can tell you about my experience with them. And one of the things that I shared that really brought this breakthrough for me forward, when I was doing all of those assessments, I was answering them in a way that was going to give me the result that I wanted, that was giving me the result that I was being rewarded and recognized and told by others were my strengths and the areas that I was really great at in leadership. And all of those assessments, they came back saying that I was built to be the person that executes on the work, that does the work, that has this high level of energy, that is meant to go, go, go all the time. And it wasn't until I started studying my human design and I learned my type, and in combination with that, my profile, that I had to really take a step back and say, "Wait a second. This human design assessment says something completely opposite of literally every other assessment," and I've taken dozens of them. Literally every other assessment that I've taken. Human design told me that I was built to guide, to coach, not to do. That I was there to help others in seeing the bigger picture, to guide them along their journeys, to be there as the advisor to others, not to be the one down in the weeds actually doing the work. Human design and my type told me that being able to take time for rest and reflection is how I recharge my energy. It's not being on the go, that's a critical piece of my day and my life, that if I don't take time to rest, I cannot be at my fullest potential. And when I first heard it, I was like, "Okay, hold on a second." Like I said, I have to pause and really sit and think with this. And then I asked myself, if this is true, how can I apply this to my leadership? And I started looking for little ways that I could start to make shifts. It was changing the length of the meetings that I had control over, where I would give myself a break in between them, where I could step away from my desk, close my eyes for a few minutes, really take that time to recharge or get up and walk away. Um, I started to just look at how I was showing up in meetings and not raising my hand as often to take on more tasks, but waiting for somebody to ask for my guidance, for my advice, versus just jumping right in and telling them what they need to do. I leaned into asking more questions and really trusting that the other person knew what to do. I was meant to be there to help them uncover that. And I started seeing these shifts in my leadership. I started seeing how I was getting better results from my team members. I was seeing that when my workday ended, I wasn't as mentally and physically exhausted as I had been. I had the energy to be present or more present in meetings in the afternoon. Like by 2:30, 3 o'clock, like I was checked out for the day. Like, don't ask me anything you that really was of importance at 3:30, because I probably couldn't put two sentences together to get the answer. And these things started to shift. And this is when I started to believe that I was not the person that was meant to do all the things. I was truly meant to be the guide, the coach, the advisor that helped others who were designed to do all of the things to do those things, and that they needed me to show up that way in order for them to be effective. And it's how I was most effective. And I truly believe that it is allowing me to really lead and guide and coach my employees in a way that is helping them be at their best and that is not harmful to them. Nobody goes into leadership to do harm to others. Yet if you don't know how a person is meant to work, you can do harm to them. I think back of all of the years that I was stuck in this cycle of doing and the mental toll it was taking on me, the physical toll, the health issues that started to come up, the toll that it was taking on my relationships with my friends, with my family, right? All of these things, everything that I was doing was coming at a cost and I didn't see it in the moment. And looking back, it's crystal clear to me now because I don't have a lot of those same things. Now I'm still working through a lot of those challenges because it takes time to break the habits of how you've been working for 25 years and work differently. Yet I'm starting to see that pay off in my leadership. I really do believe that it is time that we guide leaders back to themselves. In the new era that we are in and going to be in, we need to learn to be able to make decisions on our own. And one of the best ways that I truly believe for us to do that is human design. It can help you understand how you are meant to make the best decisions, how you are designed, and how you are meant to show up in the world. So, I want to share a couple things with you about why I do believe every leader needs to be studying their human design and why I'm going to be continuing to help leaders do this. And I'm going to be more, open about it, more convicted about it, and some of the things that I'm gonna be bringing up, um, not only here on the podcast, but in my leadership community and the things that I'm gonna be rolling out to be able to help leaders do this. Human design helps you lead responsibly. Like I said, no leader intends to do harm to others, yet if you don't know how they are designed to work, think back to me. If you're having somebody constantly be the person that's doing all the things, and they're meant to be the person that's supposed to guide the things, you're going to burn that person out. They're going to be disengaged. They're not going to like their job, and they're going to end up with who knows how many health issues, and they probably will quit. And you're going to lose a really great employee all because you didn't know how they were designed to work. And it's the same thing for you as the leader. You need to be able to lead yourself and lead others responsibly and know how you are designed to work. I do believe that human design allows you to really be able to create your own unique leadership, your unique leadership style, your unique leadership journey, and be able to show up more fully as yourself, not trying to be somebody else. We come up with a lot of imposter syndrome, and a big piece of why imposter syndrome shows up, especially with leaders, is because they're trying to be something that they're not. Well, of course it makes you uncomfortable. Of course it makes you feel like you don't belong because you're not being you. And human design allows you to really lean in and own who you are. Human design, when you start studying it, it's all about you, nobody else. No one size fits all program that you need to try to figure out how am I going to fit into this box. It's not going to tell you every little teeny tiny step that you need to be doing in your leadership. It's going to give you some words and some language and some things that you need to take back and contemplate and figure out, well, what does that mean for me? Right? How do I resonate with my transformational journey path? How can I show up for that? How have I shown up for that in the past where I've seen the result, and how can I apply that today? It truly is the most personalized development that you will ever get. These cookie cutter, pull out the box development plans, they're done. They don't work. Maybe 50 years ago they did, they don't work now. Everything needs to be unique to the individual, and you need to know how you are designed to lead. I talked about learning my type, right? There's several different types within human design. There's actually four or five, depending on how you want to break them up. Um, all human design types are needed. We all can't be the same type because then now we're just robots that are working through our leadership. Every type is needed. Every aspect in human design is needed in individuals. You just need to know which ones are unique to you so you know how you fit in, what piece of the puzzle it is that you play and that you fill in your team. When you really start diving into your design and you start following your unique transformational journey, like I said, imposter syndrome goes away. Limiting beliefs go away because you know exactly what it is that you need. It Human design gives you the gifts that you have. It shows you what's possible, what's your highest potential, and then it's up to you to do the work to show up as that person. The new era, it requires us to be able to make our own decisions, and human design is going to help guide you in being able to do that. I'm telling you, I am fired up and I am passionate about it. I loved my time on the coach panel. I'm excited to bring this out to other leaders. And if you are wanting to know more, please reach out to me. I want to be able to share with you what your human design chart is. I just need a few pieces of critical information and then I can run that for you and get that out to you. And you can begin studying it. You can begin looking at it and get some of the same breakthroughs that I have. I shared with you a few today, and I'm telling you, there are many, many more that have come up for me. And there are still many that I am continuing to go through as I step into who I am as a legacy leader. And I am going to be stepping much more confidently into how I can help develop future leaders. I don't want leaders to have the same struggles that I did when I first got started. I don't want leaders to get to this place of burnout where they're exhausted and disengaged and no longer loving their work. I mean it when I tell you that I want leaders to lead with confidence. I want them to be the leaders that they are meant to be, and I want them to love the teams that they lead. I believe that you as a leader, you owe that to yourself and you deserve it. And the way that you find what that is for you is through doing the study of your own human design. I'm going to close this episode here because I can go on for probably hours to talk to you about this. And I'm going to be bringing some more information out. So stay tuned here in the podcast. Join me in my exclusive leadership community because there will be things there. Get on my email list because they'll be the first ones to know when new stuff is coming out. And I'm excited to be on this journey with you. I'm excited to bring this out to you because, again, I truly do believe human design is exactly what leaders need right now. Now, I do appreciate you tuning in with me this week, and I would love for you to tune in with me each and every week as we start diving in deeper to who we are as leaders. We're going to discuss the strategies, the development actions, and the mindsets that new leaders can leverage to confidently step into the right leadership roles for them. If you have not yet subscribed to the podcast, please do so today so you get that notification when new episodes come out. You can also, like I said, join my email community where I will personally notify you when a new episode is published. Plus, you're going to get some leadership insights that you won't find anywhere else, that are thoughtful, that are practical, and again, they're unique to you. Check out the link in the show notes for more information or just send me a message and I'm happy to share it with you. Until next time, my fellow leaders, lead with confidence. Show up every day as the leader that you are and are striving to be, and make the decision today to level up your leadership this year. Thanks for listening to A Leader's Journey podcast. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. If you're excited to learn more, be sure to subscribe to the podcast and tune in next week for another exciting leadership lesson. I'd love to help you level up your leadership, achieve the goals you desire, and design your unique leadership journey. So click the link in the show notes to schedule a free Level Up Your Leadership session. During this time, we will define where you are in several key areas of leadership, where you desire to be, and how you can level up your leadership. You don't need to do this alone, so let's chat today and get your journey started. Don't forget to connect with me on LinkedIn or in the A Leader's Journey community on Facebook, and share this episode with another leader so we can all learn and grow together. That's all for this episode, and I'll see you next week. Until then, lead with confidence, show up every day as the leader you are striving to be, and make the decision today to level up your leadership this year.